you get that? Did you get that bump we were talking about taken care of, Aaron?
Yeah. Well, the doctor said that it might be benign, but
might be benign is an interesting wording from the doctor.
I know it didn't sound too promising, but he's like 50-50. He doesn't know.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that you went in for that because the picture you sent me was shocking.
Yeah. I mean, granted, I don't even know if this guy really is like a doctor per se. He was more of like an alternative medicine guy. But he gave me this really cool crystal that he said should subsidize the bump in like 1 to 2 years. And he said if it's like 2 years down the road and it hasn't gone away, to come back to him.
Okay, yeah. That was Jason's uncle, right? Like he sent you over to his uncle?
Yeah, up in Birmingham.
Yeah, great, yeah. He's legit. He has a great Facebook page. Lots of followers there. Coming out of Ann Arbor. Oh shit. Are we live?
Shoot. I think Spencer put us live.
Okay, someone needs to talk to Spencer. Hey guys, I was having a conversation with my friend, but I guess if you guys want to hang out, that's fine. This is technical.
Is awkward.
I know. Don't worry about it. I got bumps too. I'll tell you what. If we get this video up to 100 likes, I'll show you a couple of my bumps. All right, guys. So I'm putting that on the line for you. This is Get Technical. I'm your host, Neil Hamilton. With me, as always, is producer ABB, looking great in green. Dude, don't we... Oh, man. Look at this. Do you see this? Did I ever show you that? So I was shooting... This is the one thing. So I've been in the movie industry. Let me share my screen. I've been in the movie industry for a while before I started working at Benzinga. And I shot that one racy B film with Spencer Israel. So that's what you see here on my sizzle reel. And then I did a couple things with Nicolas Cage, which was great during his fedora ponytail phase. Peak Nicolas Cage. But did I tell you that I did the a pre-shoot for Lord of the Rings? Aaron?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you know about that. I went in, we did the whole dress rehearsal. It was a screen test. But I ultimately didn't give it to the part because they gave it to that bastard, that hack, Viggo Mortensen. Well, how different would my life be, guys, if I started in Lord of the Rings? I was this freaking close, and I wouldn't be hanging out with you incels right now.
Wait, is this like really? You did that?
Yeah, here's a picture. This is it's currently my profile pic on Twitter because I'm trying to get the part back because I heard Amazon's going to start doing a Lord of the Rings show. This was me in costume as Aragorn. Or Striker. Was that his name, Striker? No, it was something else.
Something like that.
Shelly.
You'd be mistaken, Shelly.
Yeah, you're going to get a one-way ticket to getting banned from this chat. Yeah, so anyways, what could have been, guys? Would have been a lot better movie, I'll tell you that. Wouldn't have been the massive flop that it was.
Spencer's got some like Steve Seagal hair going on there.
Well, that was the Seagal production.
Oh,
Seagal funded it, yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. Braided ponytail side edition. That was top Spencer, in my opinion. I would really love to go back to that. Guys, BGFV. You guys have recommended it a few times, so I'm really, really excited to talk about it because it's looking like it's in prime condition to get that action. All right, so let's take a look. You guys already know. All right, you guys know what we like around here. Some have accused us of having a fixation. All right? But whatever. You can take the furniture. I'm keeping the cat. BGFV has a double bottom. We are in reversal town. We like this. Why do we like this? Why do we like it? Let me know in the chat. Yeah, careful, Shelly. You're on thin ice right now, bud.
Oh, woo.
Ooh, ooh,
Ooh, woo.
no more of that ooh, woo nonsense around here, all right? All right, BGFV looking really good. I like where the RSI is right now. Plenty of room to run. Low volume day. We're just getting ready, all right? We are at a key level. We're at that 10-week moving average, stopping right at that puppy. I'm giving you picks, all right, guys? So you guys can just everyone, all you guys in this chat, shut up. I don't want your picks today. Today I'm giving you my picks because I haven't done that for a while. I got like 6 for you, and it's my time to shine. All right? That's pretty good, Kangers. That's pretty fucking good.
I like that.
Yeah, that's really good. Yo. All right. Damn, I'm gonna need some sunblock for that burn. Gap. All right, with the double bottom. All right, with the resistance up ahead. With the next level of resistance up ahead. What do we do with trades? What do we do with our positional and swing trades, right? Do we put all our money in it at the same time? All right. No, we scale in at key levels. We identify our levels and we scale into that shit. It's like a hot tub. A good trade is like a real hot tub. You don't want to just jump right in there because you know what that's going to do to you, where you don't want it to do it to you. We all know, we've been through it. You put your toe in first, you back out, a little more of the foot, get a whole leg in there, next leg, and then you kind of get down in there. All right, that's how we get into our trades. We're scaling in, babies. So we already got the key levels kind of mapped out on this because someone else, one of our really smart, intelligent, and damn good-looking viewers brought up BGFV, Big Five Sporting Goods Corporation, previously. It's looking prime for a trade to me. Of course, we want that volume to come in, and we're watching out for earnings on the 28th. The 28th. Wow, how close? Wait, what?
How close is the 28th, Neil?
All right, guys. This was a demonstration of what can happen to a lot of traders. Thank you for watching and seeing. What can happen to a lot of traders is you can enter a trade without being aware that earnings are literally today. So you always want to check and make sure that you're up to date on that. That calendar is actually available in Benzinga Pro. So start a free trial today at pro.benzinga.com. 2 weeks free, no credit card required. Yeah, so anyways, we'll wait until after earnings for BGFV. M. Kelsey, that is vulgar. All right, and I'm not sure if this is the place for that or not. I got more for you guys. All right, so this one we're watching. Let's see how earnings turn out. And this one could pop off. This one could definitely pop off. All right, next up. Again, my picks today. All right, that first one was a public service announcement. That was one of those little videos you watched in the 70s. Because I know you fucking boomers that watch the show can relate to that. All right, what do we got here, guys? What do we got here? Let me do something really quick. Yeah, what do we got here? So let me open this thing back up. My 50-day moving average is the thick green line. My 200-day moving average is the thick, kind of pinkish line. Golden cross on BE, Bloom Energy, in sync with the double bottom within the double bottom. All right. And why do we like double bottoms? because they are often the beginning of a run. Do this again. I'll do the same shit every single day as long as I'm getting paid for it.
Wait, you're getting paid?
No. This is voluntary.
Okay, good. I was gonna say I might be starting to think that Raz is razzing me. If you're getting paid.
No. I don't get paid.
Okay.
Definitely, hey, don't ask that question ever again.
Okay.
So we want to be getting in right around here, right? Like this is where we want to get. Looking at BE, this might be that situation, right? Look at this. Paintbrush. Whoop. And then we want it to go whoop. Whoop. And then it will sell off and kind of round off. We want to get in during this. And the double bottom is usually the sign that the next trend is about to start. Previous trend downward, ensuing trend upward. So that's Bloom Energy Corp. I'm ignoring chat right now. I'm just doing my thing. But we're watching our key levels here as well. Watching our key levels, babies. Right where we're stopped today. Okay, so this is going to be a very important point to break out of. Looking at what day is the earnings? Okay, we got until the 4th of August. All right, shout out to my sister, day after her birthday. So we're looking for the break above. I'll put the stamp on it. Boom, 22, and then easy target there. Easy target. It's going to be boom, 24. And then, of course, the next target is going to line up with these levels here. So I'll go ahead and put that on. And we're scaling in hot tub style. Resistance, resistance, resistance. Resistance here. Somewhat resistance in here is cutting into the bodies of these a little bit, but is right on the top of that consolidation phase. But it's ultimately... where we have a bit of a volume shelf here. We could bring it down a little bit even. And we're being a little bit conservative with our price targets. We could, of course, go higher. We'll go old school. The OGs, the real get technical frogs that are here, no. Back in the Dizzy day, we would box in our double bottoms and put the neckline of our double bottom where the meat of the trading has happened. And we use volume profile, so we're smarter. Thank you, Miles. To give us a better idea of where that trading was actually happening. The textbooks will tell you to put it right up here on the little bit of ass crack that's sticking out of your jean shorts, your jorts. But no. Experience has taught us that we want to do it where the majority of the trading has happened in the past. So there are going to be other resistance levels. So you want to bring that resistance line down so you can capture more of the movement upward. All right. Now, how do you do this classic pattern style? How do I set my entry target and my exit target with a double bottom? Number one, you can do an aggressive target halfway through the double bottom. And guess what? That's lining up almost perfectly with our 22 here. And you know what? I'm going to raise that just a little bit because I see these levels lining up really well with that. So that stamp is going to go up. I say a day or 6 hour candle close above, or even a 4 hour candle close above $22.50. It's go time. Blue energy. And then you're targeting from there the neckline, which look how perfectly that lines up. But what is the longer term potential for when that first phase of a markup starts happening? Well, we take the height of our double bottom, so that's the lowest point in the double bottom, up to the neckline that we defined by the meat of the trading, right, where most of the action was happening, added to the top. All right, so I just use a line, I turn that horizontal. That's almost always going to line up with some previous price action. That is going to be our target. So it looks like if we get the full extended curve upward out of this baby, that we're going to start hitting resistance right around support in the past during this kind of double top formation that we had. And that's not a surprise. It's also resistance right here for this candle on the 17th of February. So the full trade is getting us up to about good grief. God, I wish there was some other technical analysis tool that I could use. I wonder if we'll hear about one today. Is right here at about $35.60. So the long looks like entering just above 2250 and getting us up there for that 55.69% for the full thing. Remember, we're scaling in along the way. Nice. J-Bay is using the anchored VWAP from June 20th. Or June 30th, I'm sorry. You'll get the exact same support line. Well, guess what? I'm pretty close to it. I've got oh, actually, I have here. Let me turn off my 50 and my 200. Oh, we'll keep that on 50, 200. These are just moving averages. And what I want to turn on, what I typically have on is the 10-week moving average these days. At least I typically have the 10-week exponential moving average on all time frames. The 65 exponential moving average matching whatever time frame I'm looking at, and then I have on the VWAP anchored to the month. Shout out Chris Capri for really drilling that into my head. And so when I turn on the VWAP, it's gonna produce a green line. Sometimes it's like wonky. Hold on, wait, that's not the right one. I think there's another VWAP. Hold on one sec. This one. Yeah, this one's like a shitty one. Let me get rid of that one. Boom. All right. So this VWAP, just like J-Bay just said, is just about right at that level. It's resistance for the middle of this is also a double bottom. Patterns within patterns, guys. Remember, price structure on the tape on your charts is fractal. When you zoom in on smaller time frames, you will see the same patterns occur. And that is the resistance level right there with the VWAP. Mine is starting on the first of the month. J-Bay started on the last day of the previous month. So there you go. Shout out VWAP. Give me a emoji, like a or a 1 in chat if you enjoy the VWAP, or you just like the song WAP. WAP.
Never heard it.
Well, we made a decision when you were younger that we wouldn't let you listen to stuff like that.
Oh. It has the naughty words in it?
It does. It has those naughty words we talked about. And that's all I'll say about that. Yes. Kangers. Thanks. Nick. Shelly. You don't like VWAP? You're on thin ice, Shelly. This is a family show. Sunil? Strider. I don't know why I called him Striker. That doesn't make any sense. Strider. Thank you.
So you're telling me you went out for the role and you didn't even know the name of the character?
Well, they only call him Strider a couple times in the movie, but they call him Strider for like the whole time that you meet him in the first Lord of the Rings book and like throughout the series. People like Tolkien characters have a bunch of different names depending on what region they're in that they're known by, because so many of them are so old. And Aragorn being one of the first men is a little bit older. Not a first man. That was a Song of Ice and Fire thing. But he lives longer than normal men because he's of different stock. So he has different names. Strider, but his real name's Aragorn.
So this guy Tolkien like went out and saw the Lord of the Rings movies and was like, "Oh, it's a cool story," so he decided to write books on it. Yeah,
Tolkien's a TikToker actually. No, it's just TikToks.
Oh, okay.
All right. So, okay, next up, guys, BE is one we're watching. Bloom Energy for the big. It's not like a big fat one. It's just a really well-toned double bottom. All right, and you got to appreciate it. Next one up, Fisker. Who knows Fisker? FSR. Y'all know this one? You guys know Fisker? We talked about it on the show before. You guys recommended it. So here's what I do is I just farm your guys' ideas and then I just quietly trade them in the dark in my apartment in Detroit.
Fisker? I barely know her. Oh god, too good.
Dude, yeah, you're on fire these days. All right, guys. So that so on brand. I appreciate it. Jeez.
That's for
Joseph,
elbow
Joseph.
cough in the chat.
I had the windows replaced in my apartment today, and they're just like fiberglass and like insulation just everywhere. It took them like 4 hours to replace everything. I had no choice. I'm like on like calls for work, like in meetings, and there's just like drills and saws, and guys talking about like sports and stuff, and spanking each other on the ass. And I'm just like trying to talk, but I have asthma, and I think I inhaled a good amount of those materials. Yeah.
Oh, Will. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Will. Happy birthday. This one's for you. I'm going to dedicate this Fisker chart analysis to you. So guys, anyone that watches the show should know what the green bar is. Let me know if you know what the green bar is in chat. This vertical bar. So far, I've given you 2 trade ideas. One of them's with caution because it has earnings today. So that's BGFV. Can you drop these in chat?
Yeah.
Producer AB. James, thank you. Thank you. We're great in the background. Val's got it. Val's got it. Wait, no, not COVID. That doesn't mean... wait. We're just... Golden... Yeah, Joey, thank you. Joey, this is the little thing that I have on my thing. Not a dangling participle, you sicko. This is a golden cross indicator. It just tells me that the 50-day simple moving average just crossed above the 200-day moving average here on Fisker, which is often an indicator for investors that it's time to go long. And you know what happens a lot? Let's do this. I feel like I have a cult, like it's getting culty. But I can't really draw on my screen. Here, let's do this. Quick hacking. Time to hack. Boom. Hacking. All right. Basic double bottom. All right. You mark my words. Wyckoff was an ass man. All right. Classic double bottom. This kind of looks like a... It looks like a ball sack, but all right. So all right, whatever. It's whatever you want it to be. All right, if you want it to be, all right. They have this pullback, and the LPS. What does that stand for? It stands for something. But you have this little pullback before you get your longer run. See how this run is larger in magnitude to the previous run up coming out of the right butt cheek or lower dangling testicle. And we're getting that right here, right? All charts are organic. They don't always look perfect, but we've got our run up. We've got a little pullback, meaning that if everything goes according to plan, the next run up should be larger in magnitude to the previous one. All right, so let's delete that. Let's delete that. Nice pullback, nice bounce, crossing the 50-day above the 200 for that golden cross, baby. And then we are on a launch pad. We're about to have a guest that's going to talk about these a lot. Look at that. All right. See what happens to the volume by price as we climb up through these ranks. We got a cove right here. Decreasing volume by price. Oh, yeah. All right. So we got obvious resistance right here. Level to watch. Look at how that lines up with our resistance. Okay. Nothing wrong with scaling into a position when you see a golden cross, as long as you know your support levels. Support levels here, I definitely have your uncle point being something that drops past. Let's throw it up here. Stamp it. Boom. 15 is uncle point. Staying above 16 is like swimming above water, still got stamina. Also the point where we're getting to launch pad levels. $16, about $17 is the level where we're in the breakout zone, as long as we're not oversold, and we do see some green above average volume. So you got your average volume thing here. You see it's been ticking down. That's what it does at the bottom of that Wyckoff thing that I showed you. And then that gets down. We want to see that surge in volume. All right. and then we scale in. And then how are we scaling into this puppy? We're looking at our key levels here. So right about here looks right to me. Boom. Volume shelf, resistance, resistance, resistance. Oof. Resistance on this little candle you can hardly see, and the what do you call it? The median for this little or the mean for this little consolidation phase, corrective phase. All right, next level. Oof. There it is. And then, of course, the tippy top. And then we break out of that young tippy top, guys. At that point, you only have to pay attention to the tip. At that point, the previous levels are support. And then now the only thing is just the tip. And then after that, let's get out the fib. Anchor to the previous all-time high. Coming on down here. Look at how that lines up perfectly with the levels I'm giving you guys. All right, resistance here. Scaling into this trade. Watching RSI, knowing when. Yes, ScarJo is great because that's usually your sell target, right? Right? So anyways, that's the trade. That's FSR. I have another one, but what you can do if you want it is follow me at Neil's Tweets on Twitter, for more. After you like the video, subscribe and hit the little bell. You guys know the drill. A big juicy beat. Bill's comment. A big juicy B-sack doesn't have the same ring to it. No, I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to appeal to a 4-quadrant audience. El Mamo 2000. Yeah, usually when you identify the resistance level, like the nearest one, that's going to be some form of sell target because the price is going to pull back there, right? So that's going to be the highest that it will go for a time, for a period. So what I'm saying is that with these trades, the move is to enter at our initial breakout point. And then once we hit our levels here, we're taking profit. You can take all of your profit and then re-enter once we hit like a clear bounce point support, or you can just scale out a little bit. So you can take 25% out, 10%, 50%, however you like it. I like to use 3. Rule of 3, break everything into thirds and scale in and out. It's just a good way. Yes, you're increasing your cost basis, but it's a good way to manage risk, right? Because stocks can be finicky. The full trade here, let me map it out above this breakout point at 1696 before we bring on the one and only, is going to be, thank you, potential for like 38-39% profit depending on how things go, but it's a swing positional trade, right? So you're scaling in. It's a lot easier than oh, okay, Shankar, do you want me to wrap it up?
Are we not good enough for you?
Oh, T, hold on. T, I'm not sure if you want to publish this on the internet. So all right, T. Is it possible to, guys, I'm not answering any more questions about TradingView. We love them, but we have a very special guest today. New founder of TrendSpider, Jake Wujastik. And Jake, tell me if I got it.
Hey, there we are. I was like, I think I'm still backstage. Wujastik. Yeah, you're pretty spot on with that.
Okay, thank you. I think I put a little too much woo on it.
That used to be my nickname in hockey was Woo. So, you pretty much got it right on the money.
That's a cool nickname. Do you like the Wu-Tang Clan?
Not really, but but I have been mixed in with that crowd with the Woo nickname. So I just go.
Yeah, that's okay. I won't push that group on you anymore. Jake, I haven't gotten to say congratulations in person on becoming a new father.
Thank you.
At this point, your child, it should be in about kindergarten, right?
Yeah, pretty much. It feels like that. He's grown like crazy. So it's crazy how quickly they grow. I never really understood what people meant by that. Now I definitely do. So yeah, thank you for that. It's been a great time watching him grow and being a father. So yeah, but still, still got to do the chart, still got to get all that in. So definitely a little different managing both, but he's been great. He sleeps a lot, so that allows me to do a lot of charting and that type of stuff.
Yeah, if I understand correctly, on the day of your son's birth, you were providing charts on a list of stocks.
I was sitting there waiting for like a day. So I'm like, I'm not just going to sit here and look at the wall. So I might as well do something productive. So I had my laptop and that was about the only thing I could do. So yeah, it definitely helped time go by quicker.
That's what dads do. They provide, they get the job done. So Jake, thank you for that. Now, it says TrendSpider next to your name. I actually, so here's a little thing for everybody that's been watching. The stock picks that I've just given you guys, I used the scanner in TrendSpider to get all of them. And I can share with you my settings for that. But Jake, I was wondering if you could hop on, share your screen,
Sure.
and give us a little intro to it. Pretty sure, excuse me. I'm pretty sure everyone here knows TrendSpider. Give us a 1 in the chat if you know it. Give us a 2 if you've never heard of TrendSpider. It's a very sick technical analysis tool. Goodness gracious.
I got the chat down here too, so I'm watching it come in. Let me pull up the scanner here though.
So we got lots of 1s. Most people know it. We got a couple 2s though.
Couple 2s. All right. Well, definitely check it out. We do have a free trial. I'll touch on some of the things today, but really it's a technical analysis platform with different features that are pretty much looked at as non-technical. So seasonality, alerts on technical levels, but the actual alerts you can create are just a part of the system. Back testing. We really try to focus on not making things difficult, right? So like if you want to go back test in a different platform, a lot of the time you have to know how to code. And I can empathize with people that don't know how to code because I sure as hell don't know how to code. And so we try to make these conditions in essentially Boolean algebra type of format. So you don't have to know how to code. You just need to know what you're looking for and put that in a very simple kind of almost conditional sentence. Which you can do on the scanner, you can do on the back tester, you can do on multi-factor alerts. I think you mentioned you wanted to just check out the scanner quickly, how it works. One thing I'll mention, we have something called the current candle, which I don't think a lot of scanners out there have. And the current candle allows you to scan for something that's still in force. So let's say that, it's the 28th of July. We have a couple more days until the monthly candle closes, but 2 days a lot of the time isn't going to make or break a monthly candle. Sometimes it will, especially if you have earnings or some type of news event that comes out. But for the most part, if you only have 2 days left in the monthly candle, that monthly candle is probably going to stay pretty much the same the last couple of days of the month. There's always exceptions to that. As I mentioned, the news events, earnings will change that sometimes. But one thing that I like to use a lot, I'm not sure what your exact conditions were, but especially around this time of the month, I like to simply go in and start looking for setups on the monthly chart that haven't closed yet. So for example, one that I like to look at is just a bullish engulfing candle. And you can see here that all I'm doing is I'm going to, I already have it up, bullish engulfing candle, but if you want to create it, you can easily go in and literally just go name it, scan through. Let's say you want to scan through the S&P 500, the Russell 2000, whatever. And then using the current candle means you're scanning for things that are showing if they closed right that second. So if I was scanning for a bullish engulfing candle right now, it's showing bullish engulfing candles on the monthly, assuming if the month closed right now, they would be a bullish engulfing candle. You can do this with MACD crosses. You can do this with literally anything. So very simple. All I'm doing is going to condition, and then I'm clicking here candlestick pattern, and I want to look at that on the monthly chart. And then all I have to do is type in bullish, and bullish engulfing will come up. Click scan, and then any stocks that are currently forming a bullish engulfing candle on the monthly chart are going to show up in the scanner here, as you can see here. So before the month actually closes and everybody and their mom starts looking at monthly candles on the close of July, you get a little bit of a head start. You can see, okay, well, I know this is starting to look like a pretty strong bullish engulfing candle into the last couple of days. I need to keep an eye on this, and maybe I want to enter, into Friday, which would be the last trading day of July. So that really helps a lot with kind of getting ahead of the game. And that is something that is really unique to the platform, being able to search for things before they're closed. If you are trading the strat, or you're familiar with the strat, which is something created by Rob Smith, he really looks at candles that are what are called in force, meaning that they haven't closed yet. The current candle scan is something really powerful to use for strat traders as well. So the platform's for any type of trader. And what I wanted to do today was definitely talk about TrendSpider, but also go over just a couple trade ideas and some charts that look interesting, and kind of the thesis behind one of my recent trades, using some of the features on TrendSpider, as well as just some basic technical oscillators. Not sure how familiar too many people are with the Williams percent range, but if you follow me on Twitter, you'll know that I use it quite a bit. And I only really use it on extensions, overextensions, and to the upside or the downside. So I know a lot of people have been trading Wish. I've been keeping an eye on it, mainly because a lot of people have been trading it. I want to kind of provide some secondary analysis and perspectives for this one, so people don't keep buying Friday expiration $15 calls and wondering why they're losing money. So Wish, I just want to quickly go over kind of the thesis behind why I entered today, and kind of the whole process here. So I've been watching Wish now for literally, I started watching it back at $10. It went to 15, and then it started to move down. And so I tell a lot of people, I kind of like to stock my charts before I actually jump into one. You don't want to just jump into a stock that you found today, because at least for me, you need to know the personality of the stock. You need to know, does it move quick? Does it move slow? What's the spread? Is the spread 2%? Is the spread 2 cents? Those are things that you really want to know to get an idea of the personality, right? If you go ride a horse and you don't realize this horse can literally just start being a bucking bronco within 2 seconds, if you didn't know that before, it's going to be quite a surprise, and you're not going to know how to react when the horse is trying to kick you off of its back. So you want to have at least an idea of the personality before you go jump into really anything. And so Wish is one I've been following quite a while. And so for me, my thesis for getting in today was really one, and I don't have this trend line up because I kind of want to keep my chart pretty clean here, but this was the main trend line that I was watching for a make or break. That's what I was calling it, kind of a make or break line. Now, funny enough, we got both a make and a break. So we broke down yesterday, but then actually popped right back up and closed right within the resistance line here on this falling wedge. And so one, you definitely had a nice reversal on a pretty rough day yesterday in the markets. Two, you had a bullish outside bar. That means that the top of the range of yesterday's candle and the bottom of the range pretty much were engulfing the entire range of the previous day from July 26th, which was Monday. So you had a lot of things lining up here. You had the bullish engulfing. You did have a little bit of a spike above that resistance line, but we did close right at it. So for me, the next thing that I want to do is I want to look and see, okay, well, this thing's been pretty overextended to the downside. This is when I'll pull out the Williams percent range, which is just a pretty highly sensitive oscillator, kind of similar to the RSI, except it's more or less a little more sensitive, and it will give you some false signals if you're not familiar with how it works. So for example, a lot of the time you can have the Williams percent range go into this overbought territory, but it will stay overbought for a while, and that's when I like to pull in the RSI. So that may be a little too much information maybe for another day, but the main thing here is I'm looking for divergence. So I like to look for patterns that have happened in the past. If you look here back in May of 2021, we had this pretty solid falling wedge setup here. We didn't get all the way to the apex like we did in this current falling wedge breakout, but we got pretty close. And you can see here that what I did was I anchored a VWAP from this swing high on April 29th, and that would have been my target above, and that's what was hit above for pretty much 1 day. It hit that, so it was a pretty big move to the upside. And so if you look at the current setup, it's insanely similar, where just like in May, and mostly May is when you had that falling wedge. What you had towards the end of this falling wedge before the move, you started to see the price hitting lower lows here, but then you saw the Williams percent range. And I'm using the 10 because I'm looking back 2 weeks. So there's 10 trading days in 2 weeks. That's why I'm using that. I don't like to use the 14 period of anything because it's a random number. If you're
whoa. Use 14 on your RSI, or use 10 on your RSI?
Yeah, because it's for me, a 14 doesn't make any mathematical sense. So like, because it's definitely a default, and it becomes a self-fulfilling thing because so many people use the 14. But for me, it's no different than why I use the 65-minute chart instead of the 60-minute chart. If you look at a 60-minute chart and then you look at 390 minutes in a day, there's actually an uneven amount of candles if you're using an hourly chart. So using a 65-minute chart, you get 6 even candles instead of 6.5 candles with an hourly chart. So same thing here. I like to kind of keep my inputs, which is just simply looking at the percent range 10 or the RSI 10, to a specific time frame. If I'm using the 14, I'm looking at 2 weeks and 4 trading days back, which a lot of the time for me is kind of a random number, but definitely something everybody uses because that's just the default that, how the RSI was created. But that's my mathematical reasoning for using the 10 versus the 14. On the daily chart, if I'm using the weekly chart, I like to use 8 because I want to look back 2 months. So there's 8 weeks and 2 months. So that's why I'm using the 8 on the weekly chart.
I feel like you just told me that you pee sitting down, and now my life is different forever, and I need to try it.
That's just that's just the way I like to look at it. There's no right or wrong way to do it, but that's the way I look at it. I'm very OCD in the fact that if I'm looking at something that doesn't have, 2 even weeks, or if 14 is just such a random number, because a lot of people look at 2 weeks and they think, oh, well, there's 7 days in a week. So 2 times 7 is 14. But a lot of people forget you can't trade on the weekend. So if you're looking at crypto, sure, it would make sense to maybe use the 14 if you're looking back 2 weeks, because crypto trades every day. But for a stock that's only trading 5 days a week, the 14 period doesn't make a ton of sense to me on the daily chart, at least. And so that's kind of the logic behind that. So for me, the Williams percent range 10 is generally what I'm using divergence for. So you can see here, lower lows, higher lows. This is shown by number 1. You've got the falling wedge, you've got the divergence. Positive divergence is just when the price is going down, but the whatever oscillator you're using is hitting a higher low, and then you've got your resolution to the upside. Same thing here. This was a big reason why I decided to enter today, because we did have that divergence. You had these lower lows pretty much from July 14th. You had a close of 972. And then, you can see here we have a close of 934 with a higher percent range low. So that was the divergence that really got me interested in the trade. Now, I don't want to use a lot of capital tied up in Wish. I'm not like someone who's like, I think Wish is probably going to go higher, but I'm not one of these people who, is really, really into Wish, at least for now. I'm just technically trading it. I've heard that, the website isn't what I'd call the best user experience or experience in general. So I'm not really too married to the fundamental side. But for me, I do trade options every now and then when it makes sense. And that's why I decided to take an options trade on this one, simply because it didn't take a lot of capital to buy. I think I bought 25 contracts or something for the August 20th $11 calls, and there's a couple reasons I did that. One, I chose $11 because if you look at the target up here, it's really interesting that your anchored VWAP from this April 29th swing high is literally right with the swing high from June 28th. So even if I got rid of the swing high from up here, and the only reason I have this swing high is because I wanted to show like this would have been your target before. But if we just get rid of that, your anchored VWAP above, which is just your average price from this this reversal candle, is way up at 1166 to 1175. So for me, you know, I'm thinking this will probably get to 1160 to 1175 pretty quickly, very similar to this candle. I don't think that we're going to have this big of an impulse candle, but the weekly's looking good, the daily's looking good. So for me, you know, a lot of people will ask, well, so your goal is to sell when it hits 11. That's not the goal when you're trading options. If you're trading options and you can get a big impulse move in 1 or 2 days, I'm going to take the profit. I think right now, I think it's up maybe 10 or 15% right now. I don't know what the options price is, but if I can get up 50 to 75% on this, I'm going to take my profit because I don't want to deal with some type of IV crush after earnings. You know, the implied volatility constantly increases into earnings as people anticipate a move. So I don't want to go, you know, try to be a hero and hold through earnings and all that. I just want to get a piece of the pie, get a quick move up, and I'm just trading the premium. So I don't care about it going in the money. The quicker the price moves towards $11, the higher probability that that $11 call is going to be in the money, and that's why the premium increases. And then if it moves up strong, your implied volatility also moves up as well. That helps increase the premium too. So that's the thesis. I had mentioned it on my personal Twitter that I would be going over this trade that I entered and why. So hopefully this makes a little sense on why I entered the trade from a technical perspective. So that's just kind of why I entered this. But I'm not sure how much more time we have left. I don't want to take too much time, but definitely
you can, if you can do like 7 more minutes. I think you can. I can tell.
I was gonna say I'll be here all day. So this is kind of back to that point of looking at the monthly candles before they close, right? Tilray is up huge today. But I mean, if you look at the longer term perspective, this thing is literally just looking really strong. You've got a nice bull flag here on the monthly chart. Obviously, the monthly chart isn't closed yet, but you've got a pretty nice wick here. You literally undercut this wick from May by, I don't know, like 50 cents or something, or maybe a little more. So that's a classic kind of just like price action move where everybody stops out because you broke the previous low, stop everybody out. And clearly that was your reversal point. And I'm assuming this has something to do. I don't think Tilray had earnings today. I think it's a sympathy play off maybe CGC's earnings or something. But you know, a lot of the time I don't know what these companies are doing or what the news is. All I know is the price action says this, and a lot of the time price action has all of the information already priced into it. So Tilray is one I would definitely start keeping on your radar again. I did like Tilray on the weekly chart until it started to break down. So you can see here that this was kind of my original thesis. We were getting close to the apex of this weekly chart, weekly symmetrical triangle. We broke down, and that was your stop. But just because you stop out of something doesn't mean you can't get back in. I'm not in this trade right now, but it's definitely one that I'm going to keep an eye on. As I mentioned, I kind of like to watch something for a while before I jump in. I just haven't really been watching the price action too much on Tilray. Now another one, you know, I think we're definitely getting into this whole weed kind of weed boom again, at least for the stock side of things. CGC is another one that looks really good for a couple of reasons that I like it. One, this long-term support trend line, you're moving right back down to it this month. You got a little bit of a bounce day, a decent daily bounce of about 5% at this point. But the main thing that I'm looking at is, one, we're at long-term support, but two, I like to count the number of candles, if it's a number of red or green candles. So when I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red months in a row, you're generally going to at least get some type of reversal, at least like a bounce just for shorts to get out and then reload. That was a pretty similar thesis that I had on GameStop last week. So same thing, if you looked at the weekly chart, and I know you mentioned the volume shelf, so let's pull out the old volume shelf and the anchored volume by price real quick. On GameStop, you literally had the same thing. And this is why I traded it and it started breaking down and I got out in the 187 area or so. I didn't get the full profit at 195, but whatever, you know, I definitely was able to stop out before I would have went red like we are today. So same thing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red candles in a row. You had your green spike and it looks like we may continue down, but we also were right at this volume shelf. So that was another reason I got in, on top of the daily candle looking pretty good. So anytime you have that many red candles in a row, especially on a longer time frame, like a weekly or a monthly chart, it's always worth noting that you're probably going to get at least some type of short-term bounce. Doesn't mean the trend is over to the downside. It just means that sometimes you do have to have some of these short traders liquidate their positions to take profit. In order to do that, they have to buy it back, and that's how you get the spike. So GameStop, not what I would call the strongest weekly candle, but it's only Wednesday. We still have time. The main thing I would be looking for definitely, though, would be a break below this area. But that's GameStop. AMD, I mean, AMD is one that is probably my favorite stock right now, or chart, for a couple of reasons. One, I like to look at leaders versus laggards. If you've been watching NVIDIA, NVIDIA has been hitting new highs for months now. If you look at AMD, we still have not hit new highs. So let me get rid of some of these circles here and just make these 2 circles. So what I have here is I have the measured move from the January 11th high all the way down to this May low. And then when you're looking at price action on something that is about to hit new highs that have never been tested before, you can't really use any horizontal levels because there are no levels above. The price hasn't been there before. So what I like to do, and I was taught by this by a couple of people, JC Peretz is one that really taught me quite a bit about fibs, as well as Tarek Saab, who's really into fibs. And I've never really used fibs until I learned from them that you want to use 1.618 extensions when you start it in what's called price discovery mode. We haven't been there before, so we're kind of discovering these new prices above. That's when you want to use a 1.618 extension, and that's why I have the 1.618 extension above. You don't see my lines here because, like I said, I'm pretty anal about what the chart looks like. I don't want a lot of lines on my chart, so I'm just simply circling the measured move, and then this target above would be your 1.618, right around 115 to around 118. That would be my target over the next, let's say, month and a half or so. I'm really liking that one quite a bit. UPST, we'll just go over that one real quick because this is another one that I like. I'm actually in this position right now. Kind of go over my thesis here on this one. So a couple things. One, you want to anchor the volume weighted average price and the volume by price from this IPO. And you'll see if you do that, there's been 3 times in the past that you've had bounces at this anchored VWAP. Now, what I have here is I have the IPO anchored VWAP as this thicker line, and then I have a 10% offset below that. And all you have to do is go to properties, and you just need to go to bands. So you click percentage bands, and notice I have -10. So that's a -10% offset below the anchored VWAP. Why did I do a -10% offset? It's not random. It's just showing you that this has been the area that price is generally respected, that lower band to the downside, before having really strong moves to the upside. So one thing I would definitely note with UPST right now is we have been trading within this range for literally, this would be the 7th week that we're literally stuck between 133 and about 105, give or take a couple dollars. If we can get through this volume shelf here, which is just showing there's a ton of shares holding at this area from around 113 to around 130, this a lot of the time can create a base for the price. But the main thing that I would say here, my short-term target would be this 130 area above. That's right in line with this swing high anchored VWAP above. So I have this anchored VWAP here, and you can anchor it from either one. Notice that they're almost exactly the same, but same thing. I have a 10% or no, I have 2.5% offset to the upside. Why do I have a 2.5% offset? Well, if we just look at the anchored VWAP in no percentage band, and we're about to hit time, so this will be my last comment, but notice that there's multiple times where the price spiked above this area. There's three or four different times where the price spiked above the anchored VWAP. So what I like to do is go in, and this is just me kind of messing around and saying, okay, what's that margin of error above? 2.5% above would capture most of those wicks. And so for me, my target above, at least short term, would be around 126 to around 130, give or take. I never give precise levels. I just give zones because that's how the market trades. It doesn't trade in exact prices. It trades in levels. You have people that get margin calls. You get people that are impulsive, which makes these levels not precise. So that is all. That's all I have time for. This is TrendSpider that I'm using. I'm one of the founding team members of TrendSpider, so naturally I'm definitely going to be using the platform and showing you guys different ways to use it. If you do want to try it out, we have the BZ25, which is 25% off any plan, and we do have a 7-day free trial. If you need more time, you can add another 7 days onto your trial. And yeah, hopefully these takes on the market and some of these individual names were helpful understanding, if you follow me on my personal Twitter, you know, why the thesis is what it is for some of these trades.
Jake, that was awesome. I just want to say my opinion on TrendSpider is I think it's the most interesting thing happening in technical analysis. Not just the feature sets, but also the thought that's going into them and the theory that's being built into them. Things like anchoring your VWAP in different places than is standard. The 10-day moving average coming from, or not moving average, but 10-day for RSI, and for the what was the indicator that you talked about, that oscillator?
Williams percent range. It's
okay.
It's like a highly sensitive RSI, so it will give you false signals to the upside and the downside before the RSI. So you want to use it with the RSI because you'll see, the percent range will bottom. Or it will become oversold. And let's say the RSI is at 50, but the percent range is oversold. I generally will wait until the RSI also gets oversold and the percent range is showing divergence. And that's when I'll really, get interested.
Awesome. And then also the back testing is fantastic. It's the only thing I use for back testing. The screener is amazing. Well, scanner or whatever, same thing really. But Jake, thank you so much for spending some time with us. Guys, get on over to TrendSpider, get it, try it, use it. Dog with Toupee, Miles Kaplan is a big time proponent for it. And he sure shares online all the time, and I'm often caught let's say impressed by them. So Jake, thank you so much for being with us, man. I won't take any more of your time, and hope to have you on the show again.
I would love to, and anytime I'm looking down, I'm just looking to see if there's any chat questions. But yeah, I do have the Monday show as well, so maybe you could come on as a guest with me one day too. So we can
shoot me an invite, dude.
I know I need to. I haven't done any guests yet. I was still trying to get used to everything with the show, but now that I've done it for quite a few weeks, I would love to have you on at some point. We can do some technical analysis for an hour and just go over some different things in the market. So I'll talk to Spencer and we'll make it happen.
Yeah, Spencer better make it happen. I'm looking at him right now backstage. So guys, give us a 1 in the chat if you want to see that TrendSpider Get Technical collaboration live on Benzinga YouTube. We'll find a way.
Hey, I think a lot of people would want to see it. And shout out to Miles. Miles is really great. He's really interactive on my personal Twitter and always really supportive. So thank you, Miles, for that. Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to the next time, and hopefully that wasn't too much information to absorb. But I do get pretty passionate about this, so sometimes I will talk a little fast and get into it. So if you guys have any other questions, shoot them in the chat. I can stay on and answer them. I'm not sure if the chat's about to close or whatever, but
we can actually go a little bit longer if you want to hang out more. I don't know if you have like a hard stop. I was just told by our production team that they don't have a plan for the rest of the day or something.
Okay, yeah, I unfortunately do have a hard stop. I'm actually working on getting John's charts, if you guys are familiar with John's charts, on TrendSpider more, and going to teach him a couple things now. So I would be 100% in, but today's a little tight on time. But we'll definitely do a guest appearance with you on my Monday show, and would love to come on here and do a kind of intraday recap as well sometimes too. So we'll talk to Spencer and see what we can do to make it happen.
Excellent stuff. All right. Thanks, Jake. Thanks for coming out.
Thanks, guys.
All right, guys. That was Jake from TrendSpider. Get on over to TrendSpider. It's BZ25 to get 25% off. You're crazy. If you don't, try it out. Get in there. All right. Great team behind it. A lot of really cutting edge sort of technical analysis theory and approach built into it. Loved it. What did I spell wrong? I spelled Neil, you spelled Twitter wrong handle. Oh, I got my handle right. It's Neil's Tweets. That's where you follow me on Twitter, Neil's Tweets.
He's saying you spelled the word Twitter wrong.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We're getting a little signal interruption here, but I think all the spelling's right. So yeah, guys, I can stick around for like 10 more minutes if you guys want to hang out. Do you guys have any tickers you want to hit?
Yeah, I have a ticker, but you bring me on when I'm not ready. You take me off, but I got.
You know what? Because you're a habitual vibe checker. All right. Every time I get a vibe going, you bust in the door and say, "Hey, you guys, hands above the bed sheets, kids." All right. And
whoa!
Then you shut the door, and then
whoa! Come on!
Like, come on, Dad. Come on.
All right. Fine. Jeez, can we talk about my YOLO stock of the day? I don't actually have one.
All right. You don't actually have one?
Well, I do have a trade on Activision that's not working out.
What is this? This is insanity.
What?
You just want screen time.
No, I don't.
You're addicted to it.
No. I came on because you said we don't have a plan for the rest of the day. We very much do have a plan for the rest of the day, I might add. If you care about such things, we'll be streaming the Jerome Powell press conference at 10:30. I know Neil doesn't care. Neil's already sleeping, but Jerome Powell speaking at 2:30. We're going to stream that. We're also doing a live interview with the CEO of Tilray. That'll also be at 2:30 right here on this channel. Javier Haas, Benzinga's managing editor of Cannabis, will be doing that one. So we do have stuff planned.
God damn, put a sock in it. You know, I love Spencer. I love him. I absolutely love him. He's really smart. He's got great picks. He's still talking, I think. No, he's hold on. You were gesticulating.
I was not ready. What'd you say?
You were gesticulating with your hands.
Yes, I was.
I liked that animation.
I was doing
animation on the show.
This is what you do sometimes. So I was just doing my impression of you.
All right, guys, let me just tell you something. Spencer hopped in when I said there was no plan, which is totally reasonable. I get it. He's a producer. But let me tell you something. I don't plan. I make it up as I go along. All right. I don't do plans. Yeah, Neil and Spencer together. I know. I like having Spencer as my straight man for the comedy duo, but he doesn't hang out with me. All right, so guys, all right, let's go ahead and pop up. CLF is coming up a lot. Hurt Scrambler, I need an IPO show. That show would suck. It was just IPOs. All right. Let me delete all my stupid cave paintings. Man, I don't know. CLF is at that point. Just get that in. Okay, so we've hit this level of resistance on the daily chart many times, my friends. This is Cleveland Cliffs steel play. We've hit this level many times. We lost our 65 here. We've regained it twice in a row. Bouncy. I want to see what the volume profile looks like when we come back a little bit. All right. So you're not overbought yet. You're hitting this resistance. You got quite a run. When you get a run like this, is that a gap? Not really. You gotta watch out for exhaustion on the run, which you might have. This is like if this was my trade where I saw the bullish engulfing candle, I'd be taking profit right here, and I'm sure there's a lot of other people thinking that way. So I don't know if this is an entry level, but if you see the break above, also know that the resistance is right in your face. This is like going into your garage, and you got a sweet car on the garage, right? Because we just had the run up. That's the sweet car, and then you get in, and it's a sweet car, so you hit the little button, and it starts up, and then you put it in drive, and you just slam on the gas, and you just hit your own house. That's what happens potentially if you enter here, 23 up to 24.62. Also, probably a crazy time to buy options. I don't really know what the liquidity is like or the spread is like for Cleveland Cliffs. Probably super expensive right now. At any rate. Wow, T with the super chat. All right. So yeah, Cleveland Cliffs. I'm keeping my sign up on the door for right now. That's where I am on Cleveland Cliffs for the time being. All right, it does have this pattern here, which is really nice. Oh, this song. Breaking out of this little descending kind of thingy, but this level is just multi-year resistance. All right, breaking out of this is nice. Breaking out of this level is nicer. So watch those two. I'll stamp them up. Cleveland Cliffs. One more ticker. Neil, have you ever fib retraced ETH USD from the March? Yeah. So hold on. Finally, I'm going to tell you what I want. I want to talk about cryptocurrency. You guys never let me do it. All right. So we're going to talk about Ethereum USD. It's a really good question from a chatter. Smash that like for Jake, guys. If you want to get him on the show again, smash that like, subscribe, hit the little bell. So what you did, let me go back to the chatter. Have you ever fib retraced Ethereum from the March 2020 low to the May 2021 peak? Am I doing it right? Yeah, you can. Yeah, so you can do that. Basically, with fib retracement tool, it's a very durable tool. As long as you're going from left to right, you got it. I learned that lesson. Yes, you're absolutely doing it right. Beautifully done. Hex 2214 pony. Beautifully done. I mean, if I can move my little finger paintings out of the way. Beautifully done. Beautifully done. And you can see, you already know. Why'd you have to ask? Are you just showing off? You know how to use a fib retracement? That's perfect. Well done. Wait, what do you want to cut off, blind trader? Do I use the same indicators for crypto? Yeah, I use the same indicators for crypto. I don't know who said not to use VWAP, but let's see if it works. Let's do, okay, so we got Ethereum here. I have my VWAP. My VWAP is anchored to the beginning of the month. Well, okay, this one's, crypto is like super volatile right now, so it's going to be maybe not the best time to tell. But look. Volume weighted average price here was resistance 1, 2, 3, 4 times in a row. We obviously hit our bottom here because we found multi date support, and then we got a bullish engulfing candle. Jake was just talking about this. You can scan for a bullish engulfing candle on TrendSpider, so that's awesome. Then you're finding reversals. You're getting in at the beginning of runs or potential markups. But this formed a nice little double bottom, so this was happening. And then the break above the VWAP here was just more steam, and then you can see the resistance here. The 65 EMA is really nice, but I'm pretty like I don't know why you wouldn't be able to use VWAP. It's just volume and price both taken into consideration. It just really matters where you anchor it. I'm not cutting my hair, Shelly. I'm growing my hair down to my hips. I want to have the longest ponytail in financial media. Oh, we're gonna look at BT. Wait, moving operations. BT. Yeah, this is great. All right. Unless you guys got something interesting to talk about, I'm outie. J-Bay, I don't give trading recommendations like that. I'll tell you what I would do if I was looking at AMD.
Wait, Neil, I just want to make sure, speaking of like me being a wet blanket, I just want to make sure that we're doing this every show. Okay? Cool beans. Disclaimer. All done.
Very important.
I'm done.
We can scroll it on the bottom too.
Yeah, we can do both. Cool.
All right. So we're going to do the next segment in silence, and I'd like to keep Spencer here for that. We're looking at AMD. So we've got the AMD chart up here, and you can see that AMD has it's really broken out, which is nice. It's nice. We've got this resistance here, and it's really been a level that we've been playing around at. Resistance here. We peaked above it, but boy, did we get punished if you entered there. You call that a failed breakout. So there we go. Oh, good question from Shelly, coming from one of our listeners. Spencer, when are you growing your hair out?
Thanks for unmuting me, Neil. Probably never, because the one time I tried, I don't think I did it right, and I never could quite pull off the flow that Neil has. Instead I just had really, really long bangs. I don't know if I just didn't comb my hair right, but it just didn't work for me. It didn't.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. Yeah, you really gotta you gotta know where your part is. You gotta find the part.
Yeah, I can never, because what it was I was trying. This is when I was in high school, but I was going for. This is gonna make me sound really stupid, but I don't really care. I was going for like the episode 3 Anakin look, right?
You've told me this before.
That's what I was trying to do, and I did not succeed at all. So, probably never, to answer your question, Shelly.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. So I believe the question is, Neil, would you enter AMD? Where was the AMD question? Was it J-Bay? Okay, it was J-Bay. When should Neil enter AMD? Not today. Why? Because it's at like an excellent profit-taking level. So Neil's going to wait and see. This is a great pop, but look at this. We still got to get out of this range. We got to get out of here safely. And we're really overbought right now. The golden cross indicators here, which is nice. It's really nice. But I don't think now is the time. What I think I would do, expect a little pullback, a little sandwich action. You guys know the sandwich, right? It's where you have two large bars and then you have inside bars inside it that kind of go like that. That's the sandwich. It also forms an N for Neil. And then you're going to look for that N for Neil and then watch for that breakout. Until then, don't enter a stock when it might be exhausted. You know what I mean? Don't chase.
That's it. Don't chase.
So tell me what you want, what you really, really want. I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. So
What do you want, Spencer?
By the way,
What did?
I'm not gonna. Well, I was gonna say I had no idea. I had no idea you were such a connoisseur of the Spice Girls. I had no idea that you were a big fan of their discography.
There's
As
a lot you don't know about me, Spencer.
proof of this right here. Neil
There's
actually,
a lot to discover about me. Wait, what the fuck is this?
Neil actually said he's gonna go through that this weekend. I had no idea.
I didn't post that, dude.
What do you mean?
That
you
wasn't me. I did not.
You posted this. This is a comment on our channel from our account.
No, yeah. Obviously, someone stole my identity and put hyphen Neil on the bottom. Was that you? You're making promises?
I have no part of this. I have no part of this. All right. All right. Let's hop off, Neil.
No, hold on. I got one more question I think is good.
Okay.
Brunette, how do you see if a stock is overbought and can we make relation with the volume? There are times I love volume so much I would love to make relations with it. But for the stock being overbought, you use the RSI, relative strength indicator. Overbought is when this line is above 70. Oversold, oh, thank you. It's down here on the bottom. Is when this line is above 70, which AMD is right now.
Can I just say my biggest problem with that? That's a very good indicator, and it's very easy to understand, and I like it for that. But my biggest problem with RSI is just because the stock is overbought does not mean it can't stay overbought. And the same thing with being oversold. So it can tell you within the realms of the RSI bands, it's overbought if it's above 70, oversold if it's below 30, but it could stay below 30 or above 70 for a while. It's not going to tell you the turn. You just know that.
That's right.
Gotta use other indicators for that.
But the one thing with it being overbought, if you enter something that's overbought because it's got momentum, and that's what that means. It means there's a majority buyers behind it, which is exactly what you want. Just put a tight ass stop loss on when you enter. You know, to enter it, like you can chase. They say don't chase because we don't want you running around with scissors, kind of thing. But if you're going to enter, tight stop loss, and then you might be able to grab that dolphin by the fin and ride it all the way to prosperity. Guys, thank you very much. This has been another episode of Get Technical. With us today was Jake Wujastic from TrendSpider. Check out TrendSpider. Coupon code BZ25 gets you 25% off TrendSpider. Thank you guys very much for your participation today. It really makes the show a lot better. Please help us out further by liking and subscribing. It really, really makes a difference, guys, and we really appreciate it. I want to thank my co-hosts. Excuse me. I want to thank my co-hosts today, Aaron Bree from the Shire, as well as Spencer Israel. You know, kind of just shows up whenever he wants to. At any rate, thank you guys for tuning in. Have a great, what day is it? Wednesday. Follow me for picks at Neil's tweets, shenanigans, secrets that I only share with my followers. There you go. And follow @sjizreal on Twitter for picks, stock market news, and all that kind of stuff. Good hanging out with you. Throw me one more in the chat. Thank you, Tubby. Represent. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Get technical and happy trading.
Why don't you do this, man?